Welcome to another Coffee with Toby Trav, and I do have my coffee, but it's something a little bit different today. I'm not actually interviewing someone else and having a chat. I'm actually doing an unboxing video courtesy of the guys from Netgear. Now, I've been using the Netgear devices for years now, especially their portable or their cellular connected 3 and 4G connected devices over the years. And today we're doing an unboxing of this device called the Orbi. Now, if I have a look at it, this to me, the first thing that comes to mind is that it's an Orbi4GX router with a satellite. So for those of us who have those sorts of houses with walls in between or the bathroom in the wrong place, the satellite's all about getting the Wi-Fi signal from one place to another within your home, within your dwelling. But if we have a look at the box, and this box obviously got a little bit beat up courtesy of the guys who were shipping it, but it did get here very quickly. You can see that it also has a quick indication of what it's trying to do. You've got the 4GX LTE cellular wireless network, courtesy in this case from the Telstra guys, connecting to the main unit, and then the satellite connecting to that, and up to 280 square meters of Orbi Wi-Fi coverage. So I reckon this is going to be worthwhile having a quick look at. But before we get into unboxing it, I might just give you an indication of the device that I'm using at the moment within the apartment that I'm in up here in Queensland. And you might just be able to see this. This is getting on to being quite a few years old now, but it's a Netgear 4G Advanced 2 in a cradle. Don't worry about these little dots. This is, you know, my son putting stuff on, hoping to increase signals and stuff like that. But as you can see, it's the older style device, still 4G, and fits into a cradle. And this is what I've been using basically in the apartment to create a Wi-Fi network. This new device is what we expect to be taking over from that. So let's have a look inside. The first thing we do, open it up, and I'll open it up so that you can see what's going on rather than me. It's exciting, isn't it, really? It's like Christmas. All right, first thing we've got is a let's get started. And the first thing I need to do is to download the Orbi app to install the router. Secure the devices with a Netgear armor, so that's looks like there's some security going on there, and we can do more with the app. It's got an indication of what we've got in the box as well. But of course, what I'm going to do is to first unbox everything so we can have a look at it before we start doing apps and so on. So first of all, it looks like I've grabbed the satellite. I'll do that, get rid of that to start off with. And then in here, look at that, we have the device itself. Okay, so device and satellite, that's pretty good. There we go. Proudly branded, co-branded there. And I'm going to now rip open all of the rest of the nice packaging and seeing if there's anything else in here. And lo and behold, right down the bottom, nicely packaged, here's another box with a hole in it to allow us to get into what I suspect will be all of the stuff that we need to connect it up to power. So there's a power supply, another power supply, slightly smaller, so I'm guessing I've got it in the right spot. And of course, what looks like a Cat5, Cat5e, Cat6 or Cat7 cable. And I'm sure it'll tell me when I have a look at it in there, but it's basically a standard Ethernet cable and nothing else in the box. So let's have a quick look at what the device looks like. I think it's quite stylish. Certainly a little bit more stylish than the old routers used to be. And as you can see, there's barcode on the front, which has a wireless name, a Wi-Fi network name, or the SSID for the techs in here, and also a barcode, which I think will probably give a network password using the app. On the back, of course, let's have a look here. We see on the back we've got, as you can see, a slot for the SIM card right there, a secondary LAN port, a WAN/LAN connection here, and power, a reset and synchronization. And on the back of the satellite, it's power, reset and sync key. So why don't we have a look at the instructions, download the app and see how we go. And so the first thing I've done, I haven't downloaded anything yet, but the first thing I've done is had a look at what's on the quick reference guide on the other side. And a couple of things I missed actually, which I think is quite interesting. On the back of this device, on each side, there's what looks like a TS9 external antenna connector. So for those of us who are in areas where the 4G signal is not as strong as you'd like it to be, you can actually attach MIMO-based external antenna to this. And certainly if you're in a regional or rural area, that's, you know, even a 3 or 6 dB antenna on the roof can make an enormous difference to how strong your 4G signal is. As I mentioned before, SIM slot, Ethernet ports, power connector, reset button and sync button are all in there as well. So what I'm going to do now is to download the app, as I said I would a second ago, and let's see how we go with getting this up and running. Alright, as you can see, the first thing we're going to do here is download the Orbi app, Netgear Orbi Wi-Fi, easily access your features. Of course it's free, so hit the get button, and as long as it facially recognizes me, we should be fine. Alright, so it's downloaded, ready for me to open it. I hit the open button, and there we go. Some terms and conditions. I, along with you, will read that intently. We've sped up the video to show that I've read it. All right, hit the I agree button, and we're going to enable push notifications and continue. I will be happy to do that. And then it says Wi-Fi auto connect using location services. Okay, so I'm going to allow that in this case, and I will allow it while using the app. And now it's asking me to get started. So let's have a look at this. It's going quite well so far. I need to create an account. So at this moment, I'm going to put in all of my personal details and you're not going to be able to see them. So let's see how we go with that. All right, I've clicked also the yes. Keep me logged in and updated. Keep me updated regarding new Netgear products and so on. Why not? And we hit the agree button. I will turn on Face ID. Enable two-step verification, which would be good. I'm going to use this device. It's all pretty easy so far. And I've created the Netgear account, and I'm going to install a new Netgear product, so let's do that. Okay, this is interesting. It's asking me to scan QR codes, so why not? Let's give that a go. I'm going to point the QR code that you've seen already, that we've got here. It's successfully connected, and I now need to insert a SIM card. Okay, let's do that. As you can see, it goes into the SIM slot as a nano SIM. I'm just popping it in, and I'll push it in tightly like so. It's already in, ready to rock and roll. Hit the next button, and it now says connect power, so let's do that. As always, it's a good idea to make sure things are in before you connect things. You don't want anything to blow up, so I've connected the power here. Might be time for me to power up myself a little bit as well. Just for a moment. All right, I've now done that. Now I need to position the satellite. Excellent. All right, I'll have to work out where I'm going to do that, and I'm going to be back in just a second. I've now gone and positioned the satellite. It's actually not that far away, but for our purposes today, hopefully that'll be all we need to do. I have very much put it in within the Wi-Fi range and connected it to a source of power. And it's now saying we're almost there. Wait while your Wi-Fi system fully powers on, and it might take a few minutes. So I might have a bit of a top up of my coffee during that time and see what happens. All right, and it's almost there. Exciting. Okay, Orbi wants to join Wi-Fi network Orbi16. That's ours. That's what it says. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to say join. It's interesting, it's the different picture. It's the older Orbi, and this is the new Orbi device. I wonder if that will change. That's all right. This may take a few minutes, it says. Orbi network detected, checking SIM, LTE status is there, detecting satellites, making sure that all the satellites are powered on. Oh, it's just like mission control, this is. Detecting satellites. Satellites enabled. I feel like this is what the President of the United States might go through every time he powers up something. You know, we've got the best satellites in the world. No one does it better than we do. You know, I can detect a satellite better than anyone else. Like I am at the moment. A little bit of third-party software in there, just making sure that that particular network was safe, and it did. Thank you very much. All right, success. One satellite found. And the good thing is if you need to put on another satellite, you can. All right, so I'm going to now personalize our network settings. Okay, for now, I'm just going to leave it as Orbi16, and there's a password that we have very conveniently blurred out so that you can't see what's on there. But I'm just going to leave it as is for now, and we're going to set up an admin login, and again, I'm going to blur that out so that you can't see what I'm up to, and we're going to put in a password for now, and that's all been nicely blurred out. I've got Face ID enabled again. And now some other admin questions. Excellent. It says, in which city were you born? Well, I'm going to answer that. And you won't necessarily see what I've answered in here because I'm going to be just making sure I have a chat with you on this one. It also asks security question number 2. By the way, there's a choice of security questions. I'm just going with the ones that you can put in here. So you can see which city was your father born, your mother born, what is your best friend's first name, and so on. What was the name of your first manager? Mother's middle name. There's a lot of different things here. So I think you want to make them as hard as you possibly can. So that people can't guess it, you know, identity theft and so on. So let's put in another one. And now we hit the next button. It's now personalizing, checking for new firmware. This is going to take about 5 minutes while the Orbi checks for new firmware, but so far it's going really well. And in fact, it's going so well, I'm not even having to feel like a techo geek. It's just happening. Firmware's up to date. And we are up and running, and it's nice to see as an example that once we're up and running, the new Orbi picture has come on up. Orbi's now configured and it's ready to rock and roll. So what I think we should do at the moment now is to fire up the laptop and do another speed test and see what it actually feels like and if it's any better than the old school version. Certainly, one of the things I'm going to want to do over the next week is to test how well it works throughout the apartment as an example, because I know between where our router is and where my son sleeps, the network connection isn't all that good. Now that was kind of done on purpose because we don't want him YouTubing too much. If this gets any better, Netgear, I'm going to have words. But right now, let's test to see what the speed's going to be. Okay, so I've got my laptop open and found the Wi-Fi network name. I'm now typing in my password. And I can remember it, thank goodness. Okay, making sure that we're logged in. It's going through the process of logging on at the moment and connecting to the Wi-Fi network. And once that's done, let's do a speed test and compare to see what it's actually like. As you can see, while I've been logging in as well, I've kept the app open. I've gone past the parental controls. We can do that another time. It's also interesting that they have an internet speed app built into the Orbi app itself. So you've got a device manager, security's activated, internet speed, parental controls, network map showing the 1 satellites, Wi-Fi settings where I can change things, guest Wi-Fi where I can invite people, and also a traffic meter, which I should probably, while I'm at it, enable, just to see how much is being used at any time, specifically by 13-year-olds. And let's see how we go with that. This is going to be interesting to know how much is being used in this environment. But I'm going to do the internet speed via the app first, and let's see how we go. It's testing upload first, which is interesting. There we go. Looks like it does a couple of tests to start off with. That's pretty good at 55 megabits per second. Still hitting around that. And now download is a massive 285 on that first test, 274 on the second, 275 on the third. There you go. Interesting that the Orbi app does an average, does a set of averages on the test, so that's pretty good. Now let's have a look at using the Ookla speed test app on my computer and see how it compares. Geez, it's doing well. It's gone over the 300 megabits per second, 312, 310, 311. Will it go any higher than that? 313, 14, 315 megabits per second, 316 megabits per second as a download. Upload, will it hit the 55 that we saw on my device? Yes, 56, 57, 58, 59. You know how much data this is using? A bucket load. Anyway, there you go, 316 megabits per second on the way down, 58.1 megabits per second on the way up. I've got to tell you, that's pretty good. And this experience of unboxing what is a very neat looking device, let's face it, very, very neat looking device, with a satellite was very, very easy to do. And look, quite frankly, although it took a little bit of time while things got together, I didn't have to open up any spec sheets. I didn't have to delve in and change anything. So for those of you who would like to have a device that is 4G connected as well as your primary device, like I am, or if you would like to have a device that acts as a 4G failover to your NBN connection, then this was really easy, because let's face it, the fact is that it works as a router, primary router with a satellite, and that's something we're going to test over the week to see what that's like. But compared with what my original 4GX Advanced 2 was doing, and here's the speed test results from that, recorded only about an hour prior to me doing this recording today. The difference is phenomenal. So different chipsets, different category of chipsets, different devices. It's amazing what a few years difference will make, and I'm going to be very pleased with this.